Today we are working on a DIY rustic pumpkin using a few ready-made supplies from Dollar Tree. But first, welcome to my channel. My name is Linda. If this is your first time here and you don't want to miss out on any further DIY craft videos from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell for future updates from my channel, FaithChick777's DIY by Design. Let's get started. So what I have here are some purchased wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I purchased white and orange ones. Some have glitter letters, some don't. And the first thing to get started is we need to remove the label from the back. Follow the instructions using this glue gun I purchased from Dollar Tree and get that label off. The second thing to do is we need to get the stem off. You need to kind of push back and forth. Some will come out easy and some take a little bit further pushing to get that off. Save your stems in case that you do not like the ideas I give you for a different kind of stem. You can certainly reuse those. Now, this is a glossy paint on these pumpkins, so I am using an 80 grit sandpaper and I'm roughening up all my pumpkins. I will actually have 4 pumpkins here today. We'll be basically working on 2 main ones and I'll bring in the other 2 later. I'm going to use Apple Barrel Burnt Umber Brown Paint and Right Tomato Paint purchased from Walmart. The orange is a little too orangey for me, so I mix the two together to give it a little bit more of a brown look. Okay, so first thing to do is you want to get off all the excess dust from sanding. I'm using a baby wipe here and getting that off. And then I am painting my pumpkins, of course, and I believe it honestly took me 4 or 5 coats to cover up those words on the pumpkins, and I'm heat setting them in between with a heat tool. You can use a hair dryer if you want or let it dry naturally, but I do believe it was 4 or 5 coats. So here comes one option for a label. These are leftover wood slices I had gotten from Hobby Lobby last year. In the Christmas section, they had snowflakes on the other side. I took those off. I'm sanding these up nice and smooth for later. And the first thing we're going to do is I have some water-based chalk paint here in the color White Swan. I purchased from JamieRayVintage.com. I'll have that link down below for you. And I watered it down. I took a little bit of my paint and I put it in a bowl and I added more water to it to really make it watery so it's a nice whitewash. The good thing about this water-based paint is I can continue to spray water on. You see me do that with my little water bottle. You can see the difference from the right to the left because I wanted a little bit more of the wood to show and less paint. I wanted it really just a whitewashed look. So I'm continuing to spritz with water till I get the look that I want. Okay, then I'm going to sand it a little bit more because we want it nice and smooth for our little quotes that's going to go on to this wood slice later on both these slices. Nice and smooth. Perfect. See how cute those look on the pumpkin? I'm going to give you some other options here in a minute if you don't have wood slices on hand. First thing we're going to do here on the pumpkin after it's been painted is we're going to make it look a little more rustic. So I'm taking the 80 grit sandpaper and I'm just taking it along all the sharp edges of this wood pumpkin. Just roughing it up as much as I want so that it just looks a little bit more weathered and worn. I'm just kind of wiping off the excess dust. Now we're going to add a little bit of whitewash to it. I'm taking my paint brush into that paint. You can take it in normal paint. You don't have to water it down, but I just had that watered down paint available from the wood slices. And what you're going to do is dip your foam brush into that white paint. You want just a little bit on there. And then you're going to wipe that off onto a paper towel, and with a very light hand, you're going to just paint the top of those pumpkins to get that whitewashed look. Here's your stem. If you don't want it, these are logs I got from Hobby Lobby. They're called doula logs in the floral section. They come like this, and then I had to use a saw and cut them down to the lengths I want. I sanded the edges because they're a little bit big, and then I had to make the opening where the original stem came out a little bit bigger. I just used a craft knife because the wood's really soft, made the opening big enough to fit my doula logs, and I'm just adding Fabri-Tac glue You can purchase this at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. Love this Fabri-Tac glue. And then I'm just going to glue these new stems into the area. Don't worry, I have another alternative for you if you don't want to run out and buy some doula logs. But I love these because the texture. Thought they looked like pumpkin stems. These two are already done and ready. And here's a stick from the yard. Easy peasy. I got a nice thin one. Broke it with my hands as big lengths I wanted. They're perfect size. I add the glue into the original opening, put the stick in, and ready to go, new stems. I actually think I prefer the sticks from the backyard. It's a lot more rustic. So, but some choices for you. Or you can use that original stem and bring that back in and glue that back in, but I would probably take the raffia off. If you don't have wood slices, you can get wood circles. I think Walmart has some. Those might be a little bit large. These, I think they were in my stash, but I believe I got them from Michael's. I ended up later going with some smaller wood circles I had in my stash, but you go to the unfinished wood section of the craft store and they have different sizes of circles for you. Again, I'm whitewashing. All right, we're going to go ahead and add the quotes onto my wood slices, and I'm using my Cricut for this, but never fear if you don't have a Cricut. I'm just going to add these, and this is why we want our wood slices to be nice and smooth so that when we use our cutting machine, the letters will stick on it really nicely. But like I said, I have some options for you. Okay, surprise, because I've never done this before. But I like you guys, so I'm going to give you another option if you don't have a cutting machine. Because believe me, I understand. I went without a cutting machine for years until I finally got this one this year. Okay, so we're getting our words onto the wood slices. I just want to give you a bunch of options. So if you don't have wood slices or, you know, cutting machines or something else for you. But see how cute they look on our pumpkins. So here's another option for you. You guessed it. Look at these right here. I have got free printable for you on my blog. Woo woo! So you can go ahead and download those. I bought this carbon paper from Walmart. You cut out, the circle around these are just a guide. So you cut out, you know, around your piece. You insert that carbon paper. You can take a pen, a pencil. I think I'm using the end of my paintbrush here, and you just trace the letters, not the circle. Like I said, that's just a guide. You trace the letters onto your wooden piece. And then I've got, see, it works nice. I've got a really thin fine tip Sharpie marker here. It's actually an extra fine tip. And I'm going to just trace onto what I already made with the carbon paper. And I think I do like 2 passes with the Sharpie marker, just to darken those letters up nice. Okay, so there's a second option. If you don't have the wood slices in a cutting machine, you use wood circles here that you can purchase, raw wood, and you use my free printable and a piece of carbon paper. Super cute. But here's the third option. Print them onto a cardstock, use a circle punch, punch those out. And you don't even need a wood slice if you don't want, or a wood circle, and just add them onto that like that. Or if you have wood slices, you can put those onto the wood slice. Or here's these smaller wood circles I found in my stash. So I punched out those cardstock, and then I traced it around the wood circle. And then I'm cutting that out, and then so it's a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to glue that onto that wood circle. Like I said, there's lots of sizes of circles at the craft stores in the unfinished section. Once I glue these on, I want to kind of clean up the raw edges. So I'm going to take some sandpaper and I'm just going to sand along the edge of that paper and the wood and make it all nice and smooth so it looks like the paper is just kind of melted into the wood. Super cute. Are you guys excited to get free printables? I know I get a lot of questions and you want like my designs when I do my Christmas crafts with my labels and stuff, so I thought I'd make you some for pumpkins. So what I'm going to do next is just kind of rustic out these a little bit. I'm just using some chalk ink by Color Box. Pigment ink takes a little too long to dry, so I'm using chalk ink, and I'm just running it along the edges. If you don't have that, you can take like, what could you do? You could take like a little bit of paint, really light-handed paint, and kind of paint around the edges of that. That would work too. Here's some twine from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap it around the stem a little bit. I've cut a nice long piece. And I've got some sisal here. I purchased from Joann's in the craft section. If you don't want to do that, you can get this natural raffia from Dollar Tree. Pull off a few pieces. And I'm going to kind of glue the sisal to the front of... I wrapped the twine around, made a half knot. I'm going to glue the sisal right in that opening of the half knot. I've got some wire here from Dollar Tree, and I'm wrapping it around a paintbrush to make it curly. And then I've also got a rusty bell. The bell is from Dollar Tree. I rusted the wire and the bells myself. If you want a tutorial on how I did that, leave a comment down below so that you can kind of make your own rustic looking wire pieces. So then I wrap that wire around. I put the bell on the end of the wire, made a little twist so the bell stays, and then wrap that whole ensemble around the stem. And then I'm going to bring the twine back around and kind of tie a knot all around the wire in that raffia and put it through the hole of the wood slice, and then tie a little bow. Okay, cut your twine to the desired length. I liked mine a little long, and we're going to make some leaves. You can either use pre-purchased leaves, you can use leaves from Dollar Tree and cut them down. All right, if you don't have that, but maybe you have some burlap trim from Dollar Tree, I'm going to give you another option. So what I did is kind of cut that down from the pre-made burlap leaf from Dollar Tree and then glue it in with Fabri-Tac. Roughen the edges with some scissors. Here comes your option to make your own leaves. If you have this burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, dun 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 dun, another free printable. I hand drew these leaves. Print those out, cut them out, and then trace around onto your burlap ribbon, and then you have your own leaves. So I hope all these options I'm giving you makes it a little bit easier for you to design your pumpkins. You know, a little bit more expensive, a little bit less expensive, but to come out with some great looking rustic pumpkins. Again, I'm just doing this other pumpkin again with the wire, so you see it twice, wrapping it around, wrap your twine through, make another little kind of knot there, and then add it through the hole of the wood slice. And then in a minute, I'm going to bring up the add your burlap leaf, whether you bought it, made it, cut it from one already made. And I'm going to bring up another set of pumpkins I made from the smaller wood slices. I really like those a lot. I think they turned out great. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want a tutorial on rusting the bells and the wire, and if this is a project that you can't wait to try, let me know that too. I have all the links down below to all my social media. Come follow me there. Come follow me on Instagram. I'll have the links down below to my blog and the free printables for you. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.